you letting everyone know that this is an Apple household.
It's an Apple
This
household.
is
Absolutely. Like that's the thing. And whatever
this is an
your
Apple
thing
household.
is, just be
It is
comfortable and
not.
happy with your thing.
It's not because I'm bougie. I promise. It's not because I'm bougie. It's legit. Like
When in doubt, pinky out.
some of us want to be able to communicate. I said, it's no one over the other. I just need to be able to do what this thing need to do,
Mm-hmm.
and Apple does what I need to do securely, without telling everybody,
Absolutely.
without telling Facebook that I'm looking at horse glue
Because then all you see are ads for horse
for
glue
lots of horse glue,
as
horse
you're
glue all
scrolling
over people's
Facebook.
faces. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, uh,
Yikes.
anyway,
The consistency just
I'm trying to. All right, I think I got mostly everything together.
Yes.
So I think it's about time to.
Thank you, my
All
love.
right, we got the stream here going. We got the stream there.
Carla's integrate well. I still don't mess with him though. LOL. Don't know what he's referring to.
We were talking about Apple devices, giving a shameless plug.
Shameless plug. They don't deserve it.
But it's still a very divided topic. Apple and Android, and now Google has a hand in the mix too.
Everything is good.
It's all about development.
All right, so that means we live. Why is it telling me that we're gonna go live in 15 minutes and it's already live? Anyway, I don't know.
Welcome to the life of a podcaster.
Hey, what's up, y'all? You know how we get this started. All right, let's go ahead and drop these bombs. Boom, boom, boom. Fresh hot sauce.
I think we have more hot sauce as well.
Oh, I just need a little bit.
Oh, I would love more hot sauce. Sure.
So, I'm a act like I'm. Oh yes, I'm gonna have some water before I start my.
You gotta clear
on my
the
cheat day.
airways.
On my day that I can eat whatever and do whatever I want to do.
You can have cheat day and still be responsible. You can definitely do that.
Cheat responsibly, my friends.
And that's the message of the day. Cheat responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
It's crazy because that actually is like the message of our day. And as we get started,
thank you, Jesus.
Getting into there.
Put that in the frame because I don't discriminate. So there's a divided conversation with hot sauce preferences.
What do you want?
I don't discriminate with Louisiana. I don't discriminate with Texas
Yours?
Pete.
Yeah.
Right there.
Everything is welcome with me as long as you make it hot.
Right there by
Let's
your
get
plate.
Do you mind if you would you please pass it to me?
Okay.
It's just got our topics on it, so I don't want to get out of frame. Thank you. All right. Yes, y'all.
And it don't stop.
All right. I want to knock your stuff over. We'll do it like that. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. Ooh, we got someone in Twitch. Hey, Twitch. Thank you for coming in and looking at me.
What's up?
And
welcome.
And my beautiful, awesome road dog from we go way back to the way back to the way back to the way back to the way back.
For sure. Clayco, humble beginnings.
Jennifer Ekpo.
Hello, Twitch. Thank you for having me, everybody.
Thank you.
You said I wanted barbecue, but my normal spot is closed today.
Ah, I know that's like tragic. I know the feeling.
Ain't nothing worse than your wing spot being closed on Friday.
It's like the Chick-fil-A and Sunday debate.
Not here in Atlanta.
There's a wing spot on every corner. It's like Waffle House. you can find another. It's like you got to have a backup. You can have your favorite, but you got to have a backup too.
Now you know today's Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You know Chick-fil-A closed.
You know people
You
close
know
early.
Chick-fil-A closed. And you know this is gonna be the day when your brain go off.
What's going to satisfy your craving?
If you ain't got Bojingleberries or a Church's chicken or
This Is It. I think they're open on Sunday.
this is
It. Or this is
this
not
ain't it.
it. Oh!
This ain't it. This ain't it. Oh no, Southern cooking.
Because they leave shit out overnight.
Because it's shit. Anyway.
Don't get your fried chicken from This Is It.
Kendrick says Iowa doesn't have all that goodness. LOL.
Ooh.
Iowa. Oh my, cornfields. You got to get more.
So what the soul food looking out like there?
Well, they make cornbread, corn muffins.
What they eat out in Iowa?
Yeah, what y'all got? What's a good staple?
Please tell me what they eat out in Iowa.
I'll let you guys know in the meantime.
So, y'all, let me kick off going back to some stuff that happened to me this week.
Need your face.
He needs my face. Okay. Thank you, sweetie. So, we're going to start it off this talking about some crazy stuff, man. So,
getting into
everyone who knows me, y'all know I've been looking for my spot for like a while now. And y'all, over there in Austell, Georgia, I had everything set up since I have been applying to this place since December 23rd of last year. Okay. Got approved, almost got through the door, y'all. And tell me why the first apartment, the first unit at Birch Landings and Austell, Georgia, okay?
Isn't that the uppity west side?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Oh.
I thought it was. Hold on. So this spot,
they Austell, that's where
$1,800 a month. Let me start it off for you.
I'm sorry.
Birch Landings, Austell, Georgia. 2 bed, 2 bath, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 bed.
$1,800 a month.
Go to hell. Dude. Go to hell. Oh no.
That's the first.
Kendrick says 1,800. Ew.
1,800.
That's a no for
Hold
me.
on, y'all. And
so
this.
You got the answer for what kind of good food is good in Iowa, by the way.
Okay, what we got going?
What we got? What we eating that for?
It's just spread out. Georgia food choices be condensed to an area. I gotta travel for the good stuff, but the BBQ in town is legit.
Oh,
that's
yes.
Okay,
they took their time with them cows.
You and this YouTuber I follow, Kelly Stamps, talked about the barbecue out in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And she was also at this like weird old diner out in Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just a brief information before you go on with your story.
Love it.
But yes.
Love it.
So what happened at Birch Landing?
Oh, yes, Lord.
The Ghetto.
I'm sorry, that bite chicken set me all the way off. I done forgot everything. But
I soothing the soul.
So I'm over there at Birch Landings, y'all. Austell, Georgia. 2 bed, 2 bath. $1,800 a month.
$1,800.
All right. Got approved. Set me up for the F me up, fam. You know?
Lay it on me. What happened?
So the first one, it was in January, somewhere around January.
So like
we was about to move in. And they said, hey, Mr. Citron, I'm sorry, there's still people living there. So we're gonna have to set you up with another unit.
What?
I'm like, okay. Just make sure it's not on the first floor.
Okay.
I'm a software developer. I have a high need for cleanliness and security.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two things I need. Okay. Sometimes I just be doing things where I have to be in a very clean environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then sometimes I just be doing things where I don't want to get broken into. Like
Absolutely.
we have experienced in the past as me
Rainwood, who has
have,
so conveniently changed their names.
Right. I would too. I would too. I wouldn't want to be Rainwood. Oh no, I want to be the park.
The something at 1885 is what they call themselves. And
the trap.
The ghetto is the best way. And it just rolls off the tongue because if you've lived at Rainwood or even visited, you would understand just how wretched it was.
My thing is that I think they changed their name so that Google listing would be different.
Has to, because they can paint a picture of the park at 1885.
Let's just start a whole new review page.
You know,
get rid of all those
wipe
old
the
reviews.
slate clean.
Let's just start from scratch.
From scratch, and there's nothing wrong with a new start.
Right. Same old staff.
I think you got the same old tenants doing the same old gitosh.
Well, I mean, it ain't like a fresh coat of paint went on them things either.
No, I don't think I've seen that. No, they still look the same.
All I've seen, legit, was the name change.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. The big old sign with the new name. And that is supposed to change.
Balloons in the front talking about new management.
Oh. Of course.
SEO is important. They knew what they were doing. That's what Kendrick said. And Tom says the path to CSU East ran through Rainwood, looked like Jurassic Park. And he
not lying.
It still do.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I can.
It's a gloomy wall. It's a gloomy wall.
It's either that or the border between Guantanamo Bay and the rest of like Cuba. I'm sure it's just as tense. Like you got barbed wire, you got fences,
and it's so high.
You got ice cream trucks coming out of nowhere. That's the worst thing you can
every
hear.
Every day is something new at Rainwood. That was definitely
not over at Rainwood, but it's like some apartments that so Rainwood was bad, but like if you go to CSU East in that little pathway,
oh boy,
there was a set of apartments over there. That is where the ice cream truck was. We came from humble beginnings, but we ain't good no dang ice cream truck come to my neighborhood. Not like that. And if we was, I'm glad that we got out of there when we did. Cause boy, you don't ever want to be in an ice cream truck neighborhood. Okay.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Now ask the most desperate person what they would do for a Klondike bar. And that gives you a picture of how the world is viewed through so many lenses.
But yeah, I was over there at Austell. So just wee woo, stay away from Birch Landings. So
the red flags was going off.
Yeah. So yeah. So let me tell you what happened. They sold my first unit. But I'm a businessman. I know not everything was perfect. I'm like, excuse me. Shit happens. You could be doing this on that day. As long I'm like work with you. Let's figure out a solution together. Right? Can you give me a clean, safe place to live? How much time you need? So I asked him, can you give me this? Can you do this? Can you do X, Y, and Z? Yes, Mr. Sis Trunk, we can do X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the third. We can do it. Now, if you want to cancel, we're gonna have to take your deposit.
Take my deposit.
But right.
Go to
but let's try to get this to the second one. I'm like, well, thank you for letting me know that if I choose to back out, I'm screwed. But let's figure out what's going on. Uh, what's his name? That was back in January.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to about a week ago.
About a week ago.
I told him, hey, let's just get it together. Y'all take y'all time. Find me another place. They said they was gonna move me into a newly renovated unit. Brand spanking new.
Wee! Bells and whistles.
Man, I get into the apartment. I'm so excited. I'm like, yes. Let's see. Y'all had like 3 months to get this place together. Let's like figure out what's going on. It's February, y'all. I remember I applied and got everything approved in December. It's 3 months.
You really applied in November.
Oh yeah, I did apply in November. Like I let them go through
for
all of December. Got approved because I had to go back and forth and send all these documentations because I'm, I do my own business. I do my own software development, so
the paperwork's going to be different,
right? So, it's going to be a little different. So I go there. I go through this whole improvement process. Oh, we don't like that documentation. You gotta have this. You gotta bring this. Bring more bank statements. More bank statements. More bank statements. You're lying. More. So I do everything. I do everything outside of literally jump through a flaming hoop. So I do all that, and then my second place, y'all. I go in there. I turn on the light, and it's a roach right there by the right light switch. It's boom. I'm like, oh no.
Come on.
I'm like, oh no. I'm like, maybe it's just one.
They couldn't even have the roaches.
He alive. He alive. He like
alive and uncut.
He like,
ew.
I'm like, whoa.
That's enough.
Whoa, this is so ungood.
Oh no.
So it was like, hold on.
Y'all can't be fucking serious. And she's standing right there.
And then she's like, like, and it's nothing more annoying than someone who they clearly see that things are going completely to shit and they're pretending like everything's okay. Like if I'm in the middle of a live demo with my clients, what's up?
Oh, nothing. Tom just says Georgia can be passive aggressive with the bureaucracy, it seems.
Oh no, they're not even passive aggressive. You're giving them way too much credit. They're just straight up bullshitters. Like
professional.
You don't understand. They still hide behind professionalism.
And they cracking at the
people don't understand that you can be real violent and nice. You can say like, man, well, I'll just kill your family. Like real easy. Is if you keep that tone, people be like, oh, well, you're being civil. I don't like when civility disguises violence. This is where I was. I thought like I was being held up at gunpoint very politely. I see, boom, first roach. I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, hey, we got a problem, ma'am. There's a live. I'm like, there's still a tenant in here. He hasn't moved out. He's right here on the light switch. And she's like, oh, we'll call pest control. I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to. He's right there. He's looking at me. I'm like, I would. And then not only that, like right before. So I told the lady on the way up there, right? I was like, I would think that they would have it together. Because the first time they sold me something, and I told the lady before I even put down my deposit, I was like, how are you selling me something that you haven't seen? And then, so when she did it the first time, and then the unit was sold, it was people still in it.
Yeah.
Right?
People, and then
you would think the second time you would go and walk that unit. Tell me.
Right.
I go in there. It's dead. It's a live roach on the door.
Yeah.
I have to use the restroom. It's dead roaches in the toilet. I go to the kitchen, it's dead roaches on the countertop. And then I'm over there looking at the amount of dead roaches that I keep finding. And me and this lady
For
is like, she's
1800 a
acting
month.
like, oh, this is such a wonderful space. I don't understand what problem you would have with this space. And it's still tenants in here. You
Doing
haven't
her
evicted
job.
none of these people.
Kendrick said, "Nah, it's time to go. One means many, never a few."
Right, right. You already know. I'm looking at this one roach and I'm like, over with.
You're paying $1,800 to share a unit with roaches.
I'm like, this is already over with. I already seen one roach. We're done. But now I'm just finding roaches. I'm the roach detective. I'm legitimately like
the roach hunter.
Yeah, the roach whisperer.
Because you're gonna have to start killing them before it takes 3 weeks for pest control to see you.
But then my problem is that not only did you like, I found all these roaches and stuff everywhere, but like, she's trying to pretend like she's not seeing them. I'm like, yo, why is there so many dead roaches in here? Like, I'm like legit, like I'm the first one I kind of frowned like this, but I was like, well, I like the space because it really was spacious. But then more and more I kept walking around the unit, I kept finding more and more roaches. And by the fourth roach, I was furious.
Yikes.
I was furious like this. Man, we're at impasse.
Yikes.
We're at impasse. I can't.
You can't sell me on roaches.
I was like, the first time you told me that you had walked that unit, and this time you clearly shown me that this time you haven't. I mean, you don't even have to say nothing, you know. And then what really bothers me is that when people are clearly in the wrong, but then you're like trying to like, oh no, we really did look and we just missed a few. You missed 4 dead roaches. A whole live one on the light switch. Like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, I'm gonna move past that, y'all. Do not go
Birch
to landings. Just don't.
Hell no.
I just wanted to spend a little bit of time on that.
Tom says Georgia treats roaches better than people. Hawaii roaches.
I was saying that it looks like she was trying to fight for the roaches' rights.
Oh my
God. No.
Are they bigger in Hawaii?
I mean, by the time I had really drilled into her what was going on, like, you know, I was saying, like, you can save me the work order to tell me that you're going to do more advanced pest treatments and everything like that. I was like, well, we can work through this. And then they still wasn't going to, they still wasn't doing it. I was like, man, you got to give me my money back. What's going on with y'all?
Promptly, because that's unacceptable.
Ain't no one about to live up here with the roaches. And she was like, well, you know.
And so if you
cancel, well, they called me and offered to send me my money back. And they said that we're just afraid that we're not going to be able to meet your expectations.
I.e., I don't want to deal with you.
And I want you to understand, this was told to me by an African American staff.
Wow.
All African Americans.
Who still doesn't see a need to.
You got a leasing agent. You got a leasing agent, right? Who supposedly claims that she lives there, and you're sitting there, and me and you are both looking at the roaches, and you expect me to move in with the roaches. I'm looking at you like, how do you live? Y'all couldn't even just walk over to the place and flush the dead roach out of the toilet. It was just one, just like
could have sold it better.
Just legitimately could just floating in the water. And it wasn't a small, and that was the biggest one.
Presentation is everything.
I mean, I was saying, like, y'all could just run in there and sweep up the dead roaches real quick, but y'all wouldn't even want to do that. And you think I'm gonna give you another chance after that?
Give you another penny? Go to hell.
Without at least additional scrutiny. And then that's when they just couldn't do it. So, thank you. So yeah. So, how the food?
The food is delicious.
Isaac, Georgia, I learned early that I can't stay.
Heard. I mean, it hurts at first, but then, like, when you grow, you realize that's a true statement.
So,
But the food is fantabulous.
Mm.
The chicken has a crunchy crunch. It's tender meat.
Mm.
My goodness, my soul is like singing. It's perfect for a cheat day. That comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
Need that fatty
Mm-hmm.
stuff to soak up the soul. Like get the heart bursting with
Got
excitement.
that chicken skin going in with the mashed potatoes.
Mm,
Mm.
yes.
Oh, I hope y'all enjoyed that story, but hopefully I wasn't eating. Let's talk about something a little more serious. So, let me give y'all some context between me and Jim. About a year ago, now of course this is my road dog. We've been going way back.
Way back.
So about a year ago, my chapter, Clayton County NAACP, they reached out and they was talking about this Kenneth Herring case.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick, that's a really good price.
And the Kenneth Herring case, basically, let me give y'all what happened. This diabetic man had an episode, crashed his car. This white woman killed him, shot him, trying to do a citizen's arrest. After the 911 operator said, don't pursue him, don't go after him, stop, and shot him dead. She's been free ever since on bond, and the court's been very slow to move. Very slow to
Nothing
move.
was done.
And y'all are looking at basically the next Ahmaud Arbery case. It's actually a little worse because I run every day, so Ahmaud Arbery really affected me, right? But my father, he had a diabetic episode.
Mm-hmm.
He rammed, his gray Ram. He rammed that into a building
Because he was in shock.
because he went into diabetic shock because he hadn't eaten.
It was at Ashley's furniture store, to be
Well,
fair.
actually, he ran into an Ashley's furniture store, and he didn't do that on purpose. He just passed out. And
It's really serious.
my dad could have been Mr. Kenneth Herring. And a year ago, me and you did a silent march. Yeah, this was at the height of the pandemic.
At the Clayton County Courthouse.
And this was the time where I just remember being really uncertain about living. I didn't even know
having to look over your shoulder.
But I really did think that it was a risk worth taking.
Because there was awareness that needed to be brought to just how basic needs aren't even being met on a public health scale. And we have representation at the higher powers that are updating these goals every 10 years about how the public health needs to improve and how we can go about ways to do it. This information is available, and yet
to the world,
we're still
through the World Health Organization,
right? It is through the WHO.
To the world. So it's not like it's an excuse just to Americans.
The Healthy People campaign is actually geared towards the betterment of American health. However, it could be accessed around the world. But their method and goal in place is for American betterness. So it's like we don't want to be represented as the obese nation. We don't want to be represented as the alcoholic and substance depressed nation. Like we have ways to go about alternatives to better health. And it's available for free.
Our just recently, ever since last year, our life expectancy has been declining. And we thought that it was because of COVID-19, but it was mostly because we've had 100,000 more deaths of despair.
Honestly,
people drinking themselves to death. People.
I would definitely say that is going to relate to pre-existing conditions. Mm-hmm. Like it's easy to umbrella it and say COVID is what killed your loved one, and it's unfortunate that COVID came and made situations worse. but it all depends on if there's a pre-existing health condition. So if we knew that uncle was an alcoholic and drank his liver down to the point where it couldn't break down the drugs needed to make him better, then whatever is going to happen at this point might kill him because he's in a bad health state.
So Jennifer, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your background?
So, I mean, for as long as I've remembered, I've always liked helping people. I'm always down to educate as best as I could for people to understand like there's benefits to a better way of living. And now my role is I'm in school for nursing. And so with nursing is handed to you in like a huge weight, like this is what you're here to maintain now in your line of work. You're there to serve and protect literally the rights of anybody that is in your care. And it if you're already like a parent or if you have a business that you love, you know what it's like to take care of your baby. So it's having that same type of instinct carried along in the workplace, carried along in the workplace. So this is just like it's an eye-opening moment for anybody to just realize health is wealth and taking care of yourself is 100% your number one priority. You have to be ready to handle anything and make sure you're in a stable way to do such.
Mm-hmm. You have to. And honestly, I mean, y'all see me bust down, but number one, we do a lot of I do a lot of health stuff. By the way, let me go ahead and give y'all a little bit. I definitely me and Dr. Coleman, we have uh a program for pre-diabetics called stepup90.com, and you can go and sign up and basically like sign up for classes and like do pre-diabetics, or what it's really showing you is like, are you at risk for pre-diabetes? You take the assessment test. If you pass it, and if you got a lot of risk factors, then you need to be doing something about it. I don't care whether or not it's Step Up 90 or not.
Educate yourself.
Now the
Get
Step Up
yourself
90,
in the know.
it is the Prevent T2 uh pre-diabetes uh curriculum that's put up by the CDC. So, this is accredited information led by an actual doctor who commissioned me to do it. And basically, like, it's just pre-diabetes. It's care for those who have pre-diabetes and want to shed 5 to 10% of their body weight within 90 days. I'm not going to tell you how much 5% or 10% is, but I can guarantee you it's a lot. It's a lot. It'll be a lot. Anything better than nothing, by the way. So
baby steps. It's still progress.
right. So also, since we're talking about health, um, if you got a Apple iWatch, check me out on Fitness Plus. Um, I'll be doing competitions next month. So if you do have an Apple Watch or a Fitness Watch or anything like that, check me out, and Fitbit we'll be doing. Gang. Oh, okay, you got a Fitbit, so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some way. And then we're gonna do a competition where we're just logging our miles or whatever, and we're just sharing our competitive stats and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
I'll be doing more and more stuff, health and fitness stuff too, because that's what I want my brand to be a part of. I want to be a part of health and fitness. So
excellent.
All right, so
yes,
let's go back to our bigger topic. Y'all, we got to be a part of a bigger change. This I wouldn't even say struggle for mediocrity. This acceptance for mediocrity at this moment.
It's way too accepted. And that's a problem. Everyone
not
is
going to work.
okay with the mundane.
It's just not going to work.
It's not going to move us anywhere. And I get that instantaneousness is great to have that fame and fortune tomorrow. And that's what all of this, like social media, has provided us the room to go for that shot. We could be the next viral video and get a money grab just for what we did for 30 seconds on social media.
And I find that it's just easy to complain about what someone else is doing when you're not doing much. It's real easy.
Everybody's a critic when they got time.
Like, just like this whole Kenneth Herring situation, y'all just heard the injustice that happened to him. The sheriff who was in charge at the time, the Sheriff Victor Hill. Oh, hold on.
On suspension.
Yeah, this dude is on suspension. Y'all know he had civil rights violations. Y'all know he's trying to go through appeals. So, by the way, there's going to be some more information that comes out about his next appeal date. Yeah. So if y'all want to come and pack out the courthouse with us, I just want to sit and listen and just be in support of Victor Hill.
Sheriff Victor Hill.
And let us voice our opinion
on how much we need him,
of what we would like for Victor Hill to do for Clayton County for the rest of the time that he's on suspension. You know, let's let him know
bigger fish to fry.
That let's let him know
incarcerated person
that he is also a criminal right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you already know how criminals are viewed in America.
But yet some are placed on a higher pedestal than others.
But for some reason, this criminal thinks that he should get out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just research.
Like he didn't even do nothing wrong. Like he gave our prisoners COVID masks. Like he gave them proper facilities where they weren't cooking alive. Where he take good stewardship of our prisoners? Because that could be everyone who doesn't care about prisoners. That could be
your loved one.
That could be your cousin.
That could be your boyfriend.
That could be your uncle.
You love so much.
That could be anybody.
And he's gonna come home and tell you about
and just
how
because they did some
blankets.
And you might not like that cousin. You might not like that person. But you might not have to deal with that person.
No one
but that person
inhumanity.
Look, I'd rather kill somebody before we torture them. And we have become a nation full of torture. I don't believe in torture.
A slow burn.
I actually believe in a mercy killing before I actually believe in torturing anything in this life. Not even a roach. I don't even spray roaches with Raid. I go get my shit.
Oh, see, that's where I have to part from you because I raid them, so I watch them slow down.
Nah, man, we about to end this. I'm about to help you out. We about to
slow down.
Close this chapter.
I'm going to just slowly anticipate your end.
We about to close this chapter for someone's career.
Someone's Papa Roach ain't coming home.
Someone's Papa career isn't coming home.
Yeah, someone's Papa
like that. Let's let that career come to an end, a close.
Oh yeah, like you won't get that next paycheck,
right?
In 2
like
weeks.
Just
let's crush him.
Let's let that person go. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. It's up. Thank you. So, yeah, man,
it's
I'm just letting you know right now.
Right.
There is a quote that I wrote down by Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that this is the most wisest individual, but in this moment, when he said what he said, I do believe that it was almost prophesized that he himself would say it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, in this country, a black man only has 5 years where he can exhibit maximum strength. Once you turn 30, it's like they take the heart and soul out of a man. Tupac Shakur. And I just want to let you know that, and especially in our generation, it's never too late to do the right thing. It's never too late. Don't let everyone keep binding you down with a lot of negativity, a lot of, oh my God, the sky is falling mentality. We have a lot of alarmist mentality.
It's best to start using your individual thought for change instead of wondering what the crowd says and how you can blend with the crowd and agree with the crowd. It's always good to start thinking for self, because when the sky is really falling, acid rain or what have you, and you're left to take care of yourself, it's not what about the group, it's what about me.
Mm-hmm.
So individual thinking is what is going to help you think positively and wisely about how you want to thrive as you get older, because we can't escape that. We're getting older. So we should be getting wiser and sharpening. Okay, now I know that I'm not as limber as I used to be. Like, we're in our 30s now, and back problems are real. And it just comes out of nowhere. And whenever you think you have time, think again. So it's really important to start thinking, how do I wish to take care of myself before I need somebody to take care of me?
Mm-hmm.
Tom says COVID be racking up those assist kills. And he also says forces of nature like diseases don't discriminate. The old ways in the coach and running things help COVID assist kill count.
Yes.
Jesus.
I'm saying, I mean, this
COVID-19 be running up the
assist kills. It's like on Smash Bros. The assist trophy is like the first place trophy.
19 assists.
19 just racking up.
19 assists, 3 KOs. Thank you, baby. Please.
Yes, please. Thank you.
By the way, this whole entire podcast set up by my baby.
The best. She's the greatest at organization.
She got everything together for me. I cannot do these podcasts without my baby. I can't.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm just gonna let you know, I work 7 days a week. It's literally, I legitimately do not ever have an off day. I'm always developing some kind of software. I'm always designing software. I'm always coding, implementing software. I'm
always
doing something with it.
The world.
So it's like, if it wasn't for when she's not available, I can't do these.
Yes.
Like, so just believe, just know that this is not me. This ain't your boy Jeremy pulling on all the tech equipment and stuff. This is legitimately Bay. Bay set up everything.
She's perfect. You better not lose her ever. Ever, never, never. I just gotta get this documentation in. Documentation is everything.
Yeah.
And thank God for technology.
Handle your work, man.
It makes things real simple these days, where you don't have to sign papers, but you can just log out on an app. So,
but then it'd be like people be making that hard.
And it don't have to be.
That's hard.
It's something you have to accept, that maybe you can't always control the narrative.
Right.
Maybe you have to accept you may need some extra help. And that is okay to ask for help.
But one thing you can't be doing is just drowning. Not in your 30s.
Woo! Because you see these days, people are dying to the left. People are dying to the right. Some people don't
Life is
leave
short.
notes anymore. Life is short.
And we experienced a whole generation of people who had to die without people and loved ones even able to see them in the hospital. So I thought that was
torture.
Real interesting.
That was really torture. And what happened was, we saw how much whining has come from that, instead of like proactivity with getting out and making a difference. And you can do that with voting. You can
do that with voting. You can do that with just going out, showing out,
and
show up and show out.
You gotta show up.
You made the perfect segue. Y'all know right now, our voting, there's a huge important. This is the most important part of my segment today. Okay,
Absolutely.
our voting rights are under attack once again,
And that's where we
and
should
this
be
ain't.
defending those.
And my problem is that I've been fighting voting rights since I've been out of college. Everyone feels like it's just like something new that the Republicans have been doing. They've been doing this forever. Y'all, I don't understand what the problem is. Why is everyone just looking at what's going on right now and acting like it's just new? Right now, the Republican parties have been pushing out photo ID bills. They've been pushing out all these bills to make it harder and harder and harder to vote here in Georgia. And looking at what's our new attack in Georgia is that a lot of polling locations got closed. So what you need to do,
loss of accessibility.
So that means that the church you used to vote at may not be there. That means that the place that you normally do and go and cast your polls,
it might not be available.
It may not be available. That school that you used to go to, it may not be there this time. And of course, it may be easy for you, but your grandpa, your grandma, those who are disabled,
help them out.
The elderly and the people who are always forgotten about,
help
the
them
people
out,
who are always never thought about, those are going to be the people left out.
Yes. Unless you take just a
and
little
if you
bit
don't
of
believe
time,
that disabled people have a right to vote, you un-American. If you believe that every person living in America, in the United States of America, if you don't believe that they should have, I believe that every person living here
has the right to vote.
Not a citizen. I believe if you live here,
if you've withstood what America
if
has
you
to
can,
throw at you for all of
America
these years,
is the world's superpower. Really, we need to let the entire world vote.
Have a hand
because we really be involving the whole world in our affairs.
Kendrick said the right individual could save the group. Leadership should be dictated by situation and ability, not so heavily on the acceptance of the group. He also said, shout out to all my dev homies. I can't code, but we purchased a lot of 4,000 laptops for y'all. Tom says, right. Too bad there isn't an absentee ballot drop-off box in Georgia.
Oh, those. So they took that. Yeah, they took that away now. They took the absentee ballot drop box away.
Going to go down.
They took the.
Thank you.
They are attacking our voting rights at every given turn.
And so when does it come up to say we got to do something about this? They are literally snatching the rug out from underneath our feet.
Well, this is the alarm.
This is the blackening.
This is what I mean. This ain't new though. Our generation, our grandparents probably was dealing with the same shit.
Exactly.
This is the same. It's the exact same fight. It ain't going nowhere. This ain't nothing new.
I think the same issue would be when people don't feel affected personally,
right?
Then they
I can go. I'm gonna get to the voting spot, but your grandma probably gonna need help
much because they don't feel personally. Yeah, so and they're not. It's
your mom might need to know.
They gotta think for. I mean, I know at one point I was talking about think for self, but it's something with that goodwill that you would have.
At some point, we have to grow up and realize that we're part of a community.
We are a team, yes, community.
And free people. And let me tell you something. The price of freedom ain't just it ain't free. Freedom don't come free. And if we aren't in a permanent state of revolution, and like at all times,
we got
we're gonna drop the ball at some place. And let me tell you, it's been dropped over and over and over again. And at some point, we have to answer the call. So if you're out here and you're listening to me, and if you're seeing this, tell everyone your voting rights are under attack. They're under attack here in Georgia. And I know that people are watching me that are not in Georgia. There are other ways you can do. Spread my message to someone who is in Georgia.
Yeah, use your social media. You
Do
got
whatever
the
you
platform.
possibly
Use
can
that to educate.
to get the word out that a lot of polling places, polling
places
locations are closing. A lot of the mail-in absentee drop box thing closing.
So,
A lot of things are early voting. They're trying to make it a shorter time frame for early voting, but they're trying to do that every year. These are the same exact Republican tactics I have seen since
spineless
forever.
Real
I have seen this forever. This is not new. Like everyone who's saying like, "Oh, I voted for this person because of this. I voted for this person because of that. I voted for this person because of that." Bro, I have been watching the Republican Party, whether it's Trump, whether it's Bush, whether it's been long before Trump. They have been legitimately tearing away at our voting rights here in Georgia for years.
For whatever the agenda is.
And everyone's talking about Stacey Abrams, but Stacey Abrams can't get rid of a photo ID law.
It takes more than just her.
It's going to be way more than just her. You have to understand, and y'all have to understand the Republican Party, they show up and show out. But when I tell this to other people, they say, "Well, why do I need to vote? What is going on?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, y'all, just keep your ancestors' thoughts in mind, and just keep it centered around voting rights. Don't worry about what the rest of everything doing, but think about the same exact fight that your ancestors and your ancestors had to fight.
Have been doing.
Tom says a lot of stuff got shut down to COVID because leadership that was elected allowed the infection to spread. That's how politics impact everyone, from angry weebs with their favorite con shut down to access to job security of everyday folks.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick says a permanent state of revolution would desensitize most people.
I mean, so and that's what really bothers me is like, that means that just people aren't dreaming. Because if you're not dreaming and you're not hoping and you're not striving for more, if you're not in a revolution.
I feel like that should activate your sense of feeling more when you're really fighting. Like the meaning of what you're fighting for. And like you're feeling that sense.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense.
You are heading towards a positive direction that feels good to you.
Revolution is an everyday thing. That's an everyday thing. Like,
and you should constantly be at war with yourself.
It sounds like you would think that people would be desensitized, but if you don't realize that every time you walk outside your house, you could be hit by a car, I don't know what else is going on.
So it's like a desensitizing to what you need to die to.
And I think revolution, I think what people think a permanent state of revolution is that you're not fighting the American Revolution every day. The war is happening every single day. It's one step at a time. And my thing is that once you put it in your mind that you're going to do it, that's when you're in a permanent state of revolution right there.
It's getting done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was really important, y'all.
What's going on?
Kendrick says people do see the room to dream in a constant state of survival, introspective, and reflection take a backseat to the routine day to day.
You right.
Absolutely.
You right. I mean, it do take a and it should at some point. Like
absolutely. It's like a light bulb.
At some point,
wake up.
You have to be at peace. You have to accept that this is a cold world. Okay, this world ain't really meant to give you everything that you wanted.
I feel like the biggest thing is
what you have is the things.
You have to accept that you're the fire. That's
absolutely.
And that's how you got all the things you had, because someone was the fire for you.
And you're the center of your universe as well. So again, appeal to what will make you feel alive.
Create the world you want to see.
That should be the motivation to wake up every day and continue building out what is going to make your world just greater than it was yesterday. Be a better person than who you were last year. If you keep on addressing and adjusting yourself to that direction, then a desensitization, I don't think it would be to anything else that doesn't, it should be for anything that doesn't benefit you. But then you should have a resurgence of life in creating something beautiful.
Like being in a permanent state of revolution, I'm not going to allow no one to come inside my house and tell me that illegal immigrants shouldn't be able to vote. Not when they...
Who are they to tell other people how to live their
life?
life?
I grew up with some Mexican Americans who have no papers.
Mm-hmm.
Who have no papers. And they're Americans. Mm-hmm. They went to school with us. They graduated with us.
Absolutely. They put years in.
Years. Their parents got taxes. Their parents pay taxes. People who got green cards pay taxes. And it's just a real shame that us fellow Americans don't think that they real.
It's money.
And if you a fellow American and you agree, make a video, put a post out. Let them know like they real, like we care about them. You know, being in a permanent state of revolution, I don't, and that's as small as it goes. So when I hear a conversation where I'm hearing, well, I wouldn't want to hear any old body voting into the election. Why not? Why not?
Don't they live here like you live here?
Why don't you want?
Why are your rights more important than someone else's? Rights?
What's the problem?
What makes you so offended by this person?
You're probably not going to be able to change their mind, but you need to understand where they're coming from, because the next person who come across you with that, you need to be able to shut that shit down.
What's up?
Tom says, people be fighting to avoid poverty, prison, and an early grave. Idealism ends up becoming a privilege. The struggle is to see the bigger picture, and the individual ain't completely powerless.
Yeah, it's not, and that's the whole thing. Like, we're not completely powerless. And then once you figure that out, you can start to do a lot of different things, y'all. And I'm telling you.
Get that spark.
You gotta get on that track. So yeah, just bite back on that issue. We're all Americans here.
Kendrick said, well said.
We're all just do what you can to change and shape the narrative. That's what we need to do. Okay? You hear some effed up stuff, don't let it just fly.
Shake the table.
Please. You ain't got no friends?
I mean, you'll find out
you ain't got no friends.
Actually make some friends when you shake the table.
Right.
When you're unafraid to
it's
show how un-American or American you wish to be. They're going to shake the table, but which side of the table are you going to be on?
I'm going to close off on this fact. Right now we're looking at what's going on at Ukraine and Russia. That shit been going on. We're looking at what's going on all the way 4,000 miles across the globe. And what's going on in your backyard could shape what's going on over there.
Yeah, Kendrick said your friends are usually found in struggle, rarely in peace.
Damn,
that was a good one. That was good. Bro, I'm going to take that and put it in my Twitter bio.
Y'all know about them diamonds.
Right.
Now that's a good one.
Y'all know about
your friends is the ones you find when you're struggling. Not in peace. Now, that's
I like that.
That's right.
But, I'm going to leave off on this one. Right now,
please give me in.
Tensions are high.
Exactly. I didn't tune in to what's going on.
Don't. I'm not even about to.
Putin's on some shit again.
Putin's on. When has he not been on his shit?
And that's the thing. Like, he just has to have control over everything.
I mean, did we not all grow? We all went to the same high school, so we all learned about the Cold War.
I mean, exactly. And that was the 50s.
Congratulations, you're back into it.
Oh, the space industry.
But
Yay.
okay, think about this. We back in workers' rights. We ain't got no unions no more. Okay? So what do you think is going to happen? We're going to go back to the Cold War. So what do you think is next? Voting rights. So what do you think is next?
The totalitarianism.
Stupid stuff. We about to repeat it.
We're gonna have a dictator.
Use your outlets to do what you can
be the
to stop this. We are not a fascist country. We're not a fascist country. And I'm pretty sure maybe someone overseas might see this one day. I don't know. I have no idea. But I would hope that they understood that our government might be racist, they might be fascist, but we aren't.
We are not.
We are not those people.
There's strength in numbers. So
and honestly,
realize how many more people you can have backing your argument if you put your word out there.
Right.
Start touching one person at a time.
If I could get one person to know about this Kenneth Herring thing and research it, I only need one of y'all. I don't need all of y'all to do it. I need one. Just look it up and be abreast and know what's going on. That's all I need you to do. Once you know that, you're going to be able to tell other people. Someone else is going to hear this and trust and believe they're going to be pissed off.
And ready to tell their friends, and then
they might come find me and want to come march.
And that's what I was about to bring up, was that day at the courthouse, it was just the 6 of us that was out there.
Right.
And it was just us starting off, just us vibing.
It was 6 of us.
It was 6 of us, and about maybe an hour or so into it, the numbers started piling up to 50 and then 100. And then like the name wasn't like sizzling too much in the media, but for what it was worth, Facebook was a good way for us to educate ourselves on that. So it was spread through that. And I didn't know how the idea of the courthouse meeting just ended up being the place where it all began. But about 2 hours into it, we had 300, 400 people outside. We got megaphones, we got platforms, we got the camera people, we had CBS out there. It was like,
it only took 2 hours for all that to happen.
For all that to happen. And that is the power of social media. It gives you a place to have a positive or negative platform to do something with the change you want to see or be a part of. So
you can share what you want to share. I don't know if y'all noticed, but my Facebook page is very, very targeted in what I share and what I choose to say, because I'm trying to reach you in a way that makes sense. You know, if I'm your good friend, what would I need to hear? What would I need to say to you as my good friend? You know, what do I need to? Yeah, I see. You know, but we're about to end this anyway.
No worries.
But I really, really appreciate everyone taking the time to join me today.
It was great.
Thank you so much, Jen.
It was great.
Out. I had a great time.
It was really great.
And I done ate a lot of food.
Ida's belly is real.
I'm ready for a whole nappity nap.
I'm going to have a good night tea and, clean this out. Mm-hmm. Health is wealth, guys. So it's all about,
hey,
you got to treat your body right.
Hey, man, that is actually treating yourself. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Absolutely. It's all about knowing your limits. So when you celebrate, you don't go too hard, but you can keep yourself comforted and happy.
I mean, when this feels, this was at one point maybe something that I would eat on a Monday, and now this is a treat.
A treat, yes. You don't do it often, but when you do it big.
Bye.
You do it. Okay. I'm gonna sleep good tonight because that was fantastic.
Yeah, just please stay on top of these voting rights. Don't be so distracted about what's going on in the media.
The media
is always alarmist, and I'm telling you, the world's gonna keep spinning, and we got to make this world just a little bit better. Not a whole bit better. Stop trying to save the world. Just do what you can.
Baby steps.
Just cook a meal.
The world by
talk to somebody.
Your world.
Just let someone vent to you sometime. Mm-hmm. Don't say shit.
And don't think you can handle it all on your
You're not.
own.
Or you might just have to let them vent and say, hey, man, you need to go seek some help.
You get your support system in place, and that is like one of the keys to healthy living. Get a good support system.
Yeah. Fuck empathy. Say hello to rational compassion. There's a whole book about that. Y'all need to go check it out. So,
Absolutely.
I love y'all. Be safe. Be well. Till next time.
Good night.
Boy, it's a lot of closing out to do. So y'all probably gonna watch me do all this for a little bit.
Would you like me to post it?
Yes, please.